Hey, what's up, guys? Yesterday I went and saw the movie Mother, and in my movie review, I said that I would not recommend this movie. I was critical of this movie. I didn't really understand and get this movie, and I was talking about it, responding on YouTube in the comment section, and for I guess about the last 24 hours, I have been thinking about this movie, thinking about things that happened in this movie and what they meant. Now, I think and I understand why this movie will be universally panned, why people will not get it. It will not be for everyone. I think the true literary scholars and English majors, these type of people will love this movie, like this movie, will dive into the deeper meanings of this movie. Now, I was an English standout during my time in college. I should have majored in English while I was in college. And I consider myself to be a bit of a writer and a creative mind. Now, I'm going to give my interpretation of this movie. I have not read any spoilers. I have not read any meanings or breakdowns of this movie. This is strictly my thoughts on the movie. Having thought about some of the things that have happened. Also, let me say I am not cannot remember everything that happened. Even though I saw it just a little over 24 hours ago. I have not written any notes, anything like that. It's just me going off the top of my head, talking about things in the movie and the way that I view the movie and what the movie meant. And in hindsight, maybe I am not as hard on this movie as I initially was. Maybe I would watch this movie again with the mindset that I have as to what things in the movie meant. Now, in my opinion, and by the way, before I start getting into this video will be full of spoilers. I will talk about things that happen in the movie. So if you don't want spoilers, if you don't want to know what happened in the movie, I advise you to turn away now. All right. Now, in my opinion, this movie is about the relationship between man and woman. It is about the mistreatment of women by men. That's what this movie is basically about. The movie starts off with a scene where it looks like a woman is on fire, like she is in hell, and that turned out to be Jennifer Lawrence. Could not make it out. I could not make it out at the beginning, but ultimately that's who it was, because later on in the movie, that scene, we saw that scene. We saw that part of the movie play out. So the movie opens up with a woman burning in hell. And to me, that signifies or symbolizes the hell that women go through dealing with men and some of the things that we put them through. The movie starts out with Javier Bardem. He has this, this beautiful crystal, if that's what we want to call it, or diamond, whatever you want to call it. And he places it like on a stand, on a mantle, and this house that is apparently in ruins, not clean, dirty, nothing really. He puts it on a stand, and the house comes to life. It lights up. And later on in the movie, at the end of the movie, we saw exactly what that was. And basically, I'm going to jump right to it. At the end of the movie, he says to Jennifer Lawrence, as she is dying, that he knows that she still has love for him, and she acknowledges it, and she tells him to take it. And if I am remembering correctly, he reached in and pulled, I think that was her heart out, which throughout the movie was being displayed I think it was kind of like lit up. It was bright. It was red, and as the movie progressed, I think it got darker. The heart got darker. And that symbolized what she felt on the inside, the relationship that she had with him, and how she was being used and unloved and being taken down. Okay, so yeah, he pulls her heart out at the end of the movie, and at this point, and it kills her. It quote unquote kills her, the mistreatment of a woman by a man, would kill a woman internally. That's what that was, in my opinion. He pulls the heart out. It's all black and dusty and rotten or whatever. He wipes it off, dusts it off. It turns out to be a pretty crystal or diamond, and he puts it on the mantle as he did in the beginning of the movie, which I'm assuming was a different woman's heart, soul slash love for him. And that was his prized possession, getting a woman's heart, getting a woman's soul and love, because Jennifer Lawrence acknowledged toward the end of the movie that he didn't love her, that he loved the way that she loved him. That's what he got off on. That's what gave him life. That's what made him feel good. And at the end of the movie, after he puts Jennifer Lawrence's heart on a mantle, which is his prized possession, which made him feel good and brought life to his house, brought life to him. It was a repeat of a woman in his bed, except it was a different woman. It was another young woman who was in his bed, and she turned around and said "babe" to him, like Jennifer Lawrence said at the beginning of the movie. And to me, that just showed that that he got what he wanted from Jennifer Lawrence. He got her love that made him feel good, and it was on to the next woman. And he was gonna get her love too, and that was gonna make him feel good. And in my opinion, that's what that symbolized. The way men in real life, will and can take a woman's love to boost themselves up, to make themselves feel good, and then will seek the love of another woman. He was not grieving Jennifer Lawrence's death. He easily and quickly moved on. Once he took everything he could take from her. He easily and quickly moved on to another woman. All right. Now, Jennifer Lawrence's character in this movie, in my opinion, she simply was a woman who loved her man, who did all for her man, who all she wanted in life was to be with her man, to be alone with her man, to love her man, take care of her man. She made the ultimate sacrifice for the man. She moved out to the middle of nowhere with the guy. There was no driveway. They were in a house that was basically surrounded by grass and trees. There was no I didn't see any cars. There's driveway, nothing. It showed that this woman was willing to give up pretty much any and everything, sacrifice her life, and move out to the middle of nowhere to be with this older guy who she loved and she wanted to be with. She was fixing up the guy's house, trying to give him a great place to live, sacrificing her life for the guy. That's what I saw. That's the way I see her character. As far as all of the visitors go, the visitors symbolize that Javier Bardem, he was more concerned, and he was he loved more getting public adulation and public attention than than worrying about his woman's needs, taking care of his woman. It was all about getting public gratification and love from others. And he ignored his woman. He ignored her love. He did not give her the attention and love that she rightly deserved. The protection that she deserved. He was more than happy to get love from any and everyone on the outside. That's the way I saw that. And of course, that was the first set of visitors with Michelle Pfeiffer and Ed Harris and the others. And he ignored her wishes to get rid of the visitors. He ignored her wishes of not leaving her there alone after the guy, one of the sons, had got knocked in the head and basically killed. He was all about everyone but the woman, everyone but his wife. And um, they had all these visitors, basically ran over her, disrespected her house. And she finally snapped and everybody left. And she got into a fuss with Javier Bardem. And she basically revealed and threw a big what would you call it? Threw a big thing out there to where she said that the reason you can't have I made sacrifices for you, but you talk about having kids, but the reason we can't even have kids because you can't fuck me. And that was kind of like a dare pushing the man's buttons, um, cross the line, and that sort of made him snap. And he indeed then had sex with her. She was kind of fighting it and resisting at first, but then she submitted to the man. And that again was a symbol of what happens in real life. A woman could be upset with the man, all these kind of things. But and when a woman loves a man the way she loved him, she submitted to him, and that's what a lot of women do in real life. They will submit to the man, and she submitted to him. They had sex, and then she got pregnant. So that's that's the way I view that part of the movie. And then of course she got pregnant, and he really was not giving her the attention she deserved. Ignored her. He was more into the public, adulation, all these things. And as I said in my movie review, when the movie went off the rails, was when the second visitors came, and it just got absolutely berserk. It was like a war scene. It was people were going absolutely nuts. It was looters. Uh, all of these people represented the outside forces and what they could have on a relationship. Same thing as Michelle Pfeiffer when she was talking about them having kids, prying in their business, being nosy, invasion of privacy when they would go up to the room, all those kind of things. What outside forces can do, to a woman in a relationship, what it can do to a relationship. And the man, Javier Bardem, he did not really care. He was more wrapped up in the public and their feelings and his own personal gratification from getting outside love than taking care of his wife. And of course, she had the baby, and once again, he was more wrapped up in the outside forces, the public, how they felt about wanting to see the baby. He did not respect her wishes. He basically sat there, waited for her to go to sleep, took the baby, and gave it to the public. Gave the woman's soul and her child to the public. And the public destroyed her child, quickly destroyed her child, killed her child. As I'm assuming the movie is saying that the public can destroy children. And of course she snapped, and she got beat up bad. you know she got stomped on, and I mean just beat down bad. And again, that was more of a beating. She took the beating from the first set of visitors, in the way they were treating her. Then she was taking beating from Javier Bardem and the way he was treating her. Then she took a literal beating from the public, the outside people who would make noise, talk about your relationship, help ruin relationships. And then ultimately it showed her in the quote unquote hell scene where she was on fire. Where she was, setting the house on fire, basically committing suicide. It was the downfall of the woman. As women in real life see downfalls in relationships. And it destroys them. It breaks their hearts. Ruins their souls. All those kind of things. So, that was the symbolism that I saw in the movie. And then, of course, after that, that was when he said, "I know you still love me," and he took the heart from her. And of course, she said, before that, I think before she was burning the house down, that you don't love me. You just love the way I love you. That's what makes you feel good, or whatever she said. But yeah, that's the way I saw this movie, man. In hindsight, that's what I think the movie was about. Now I could be completely wrong. Maybe it's about something else. Maybe it had other meanings. But this is the way I'm seeing it. The way I'm seeing that the things in the movie meant. Uh, Jennifer Lawrence. Uh, in hindsight, I could see why they made this movie. Like I said, I know a lot of the public will not get it. Will criticize this movie, but it was supposed to be just basically a piece of literature, a work of art that was put on the big screen. You had to dissect the movie for yourself and maybe put your own meanings to it. Because like I said, I could be wrong. My interpretation could be way off. But this is the way that I'm seeing the movie. So I believe that's it. If I missed anything, I'll leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any questions, you can ask, and maybe I can answer them for you if I have an answer to your question. But just off the top of my head, this is the way that I'm seeing this movie and what it meant, and the relationships between men and women and children. I think the title of this movie being Mother is not just because of the child that she has, the baby that she has, but also the sort of overall female relationship between male and female, whether it be a boy or a grown man. To a boy, to a child, she is mother, and to a man, she is mother in the way that she can nurture the man, take care of the household. There are men who call their woman, their significant other, their lover, mama. They are viewed that way. So I think mother with the exclamation point stresses that she was mother not only to the baby, but to the man also. It had it was the ultimate meaning, female meaning in the beatings that women take in dealing with men. So with males. Because of course, the baby getting killed, that brought her great pain also. So, and like I said, at the end of the movie, Javier Bardem quickly moved on to another young female. He had Jennifer Lawrence's heart, soul on display. It made him feel good. And he had another woman in his bed, quickly and easily without grieving. So, I think that's it, guys. I think I've explained my feelings on this movie. Let me know what you think. I think this does make the movie slightly better for me. I'm not gonna say it was great all of a sudden, but with the mindset and thought that I have about the movie and the meanings behind it, I probably could watch it again and apply my feelings and my meaning and definition for the movie, and watch it play out, and kind of test my theory of the movie. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. If you want to take the chance of watching this movie, taking the plunge, and seeing if what I'm saying is true, or if you have a different meaning, let me know, and we can talk about it. Thanks for watching.